that once was crowned with thorns is crowned with glory now. The Savior knelt to wash our feet, and now at his feet we bow. The tomb where soldiers watched in vain was borrowed for 3 days, but his body there would not remain. Let's celebrate that. Our God has robbed the grave. Oh yes, he has. He's a miracle. And your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Your name is victory. All praise will rise to Christ our King. Yo, please have a seat.
So we kind of lived in a limbo for years. This limbo of addiction, and if you've ever cared for anyone with an addiction, it is a lonely place to be. So I had to take a restraining order out at that time. Jason, when he would be drinking, his anger would get really bad. We had a few incidents at our home, and when you have, your boys, when you have these little kids and they look at you and say, "Mom, I'm scared, Mom, what are we gonna do?" And I knew I had to just trust that God was going to take care of us, whether that was going to be me to be a single parent or, whatever. I had to take care of them, and I knew that God would take care of me in the process of that.
I had reached a point in my life where I didn't care. I didn't care who I hurt. I was selfish. Didn't really know or care where to go. I wanted to live my life the way I wanted to live my life. Missy and I were separated, and I was under a restraining order and had been to my mother's house and come home on a Sunday afternoon and went out with my friends drinking, and woke up on Monday morning in my friend's apartment in his recliner. I didn't have a clue where I'd been or how I got there. When I didn't know where I'd been or what I had done. And I have a beautiful wife and 3 little boys at that time. I knew that I had to turn back. I had to bring my life together for them.
As crazy as it sounds, or as crazy as it made me look, because I feel like probably to a lot of people I looked pretty crazy, that I had stood by this man who had, had an affair for years, and who had a bad drinking problem, and who had, bankrupted us, and who had done all these things. I probably looked really silly, but I just knew, God spoke to me and said for me to just look. I just needed to look. I just needed to be still. I just needed to look, and I needed to listen.
My first step was to suck up the pride. Suck up the pride and know that I can't do it alone. I had to change. And I took it day by day. And here, now almost 2 years later, I don't know what I would have done without Highlands. I owe everything that I have to them. Looking back, without Gary and Steve, Tom, all the people from CR, all the counselors that were there, just people in general to talk to with Highlands, I don't know what I would have done. They all was praying for me and leading me, and I knew that God would restore and lead me and my family back to what He desired in our lives.
And that was very eye-opening to see, the changes that he was going through. I didn't know that he was attending CR. I didn't know the things that he was doing. But once I started to see those, it was just beautiful experience to be able to see someone, give their life over to God, to get to witness that, to see it firsthand and know in your home what God can do, to get to see it. It is amazing.
With addiction, with failures, with habits, with hang-ups, whatever it may be, you're not so far gone that God can't bring you back.
By your Spirit I will rise from the ashes of defeat. The resurrected King is resurrected.